So I recently had a girl comment on one of my social media photos and she said, is it humbling knowing that some guys who would want to date you if you were normal now no longer want to date you because you use a wheelchair? Okay, well, ask the question. Do I feel weird that some guys would no longer want to date me because I use a wheelchair? No! No! 100% no! Like, listen, if a guy is not attracted to me because I can't walk, good! Go! Get out of here! Go find your walking queen. Let's hope nothing happens to her. Because really, what's the alternative here? That I'm walking and somebody's interested in me because I can do things like go up the stairs and use a treadmill? I mean, there's obviously a lot more that goes into it than that, but honestly, I see it as such a blessing because it helps to weed out a certain kind of guy who's very focused on the superficial, and that's their prerogative. They probably won't be happy that way, but it's their decision. Because the guy is right for me, of course will be attracted to me, but he'll be in love with me for my heart, for my mind, for my weird sense of humor, and that's what I want him to be prioritizing. Now, as somebody with a major physical disability, I do go through a lot of very unique challenges and obstacles on a daily basis, probably to an extent that most people wouldn't even expect. And when I bring someone into my life, I can see very quickly what their inner strength is like by how they handle the challenges that I go through secondhand. And I've dated guys who really couldn't handle it. And sure, this means I have to disqualify a lot of guys, but here's the thing. The question isn't if you will go through hardship as a couple, it is when. So I would so much rather have someone by my side who I know is strong and resilient instead of being blindsided by a guy who bolts or completely unravels the second life gets difficult. Because I've had that happen and it is not fun. I know a lot of you, if not all of you watching this, have things you perceive to be physical flaws, and it's easy to grieve the hypothetical or real people we miss out on because of these flaws, but I promise you it is a blessing in disguise because a love that is heavily based on flawlessness is inherently a very flawed kind of love. And honestly, I want someone who loves me even more because of my flaws, because these flaws are going to remind him of my strength. They're going to remind him that I'm a survivor and I've had to push through some incredibly challenging and traumatic situations. Because when someone truly loves you, they don't look down on you for your battle scars. They're proud of you for them.
There have been countless times where I've seen some of the most beautiful girls being rejected by guys, or just guys not being interested in them. At one point, it had boggled my mind because I'm like, this girl's stunning. Like, why wouldn't this guy want to be with her? And you want to know why? Because at the end of the day, everything comes down to your energy, to your aura. People are attracted to how you make them feel and what energy you give off. So if you're in this like mopey, sad energy, that's not going to be attractive. If you're in this bitchy energy where you think you're better than everyone else, that's not going to attract people in your life, friends and guys. But if you're in this like happy girl, soft era, you're probably the most attractive girl in the room.
So I spent so long getting ready to see a boy who it literally had just clicked in my head that like he doesn't care, because I've been putting in so much effort to see him. Just been not reciprocating that. Told me I was gonna see him today. I was supposed to see him at 6. I was supposed to see him at 4:30. And he's texting me right now. He's just avoiding the whole thing of me. So like obviously you don't care. But I took my time to get ready, did my hair, did my makeup, and I think I look really cute. So I was gonna show somebody. I took pictures and I posted them on Instagram. So that's cool, that's nice. I got my nails done today. There's little pumpkins and shit on them. That's cool. Yeah, that was it.
Why do men ignore women? Why do they ignore me? They say they love me, they pay for stuff, they give me money, but then they ignore me. Because y'all ready? They're not ignoring you. Okay, let me say that again for the people in the back. They are not ignoring you. They're living life. You are sitting there waiting on them to pay attention to you. You know, that thing called life? They're doing things, working, watching Netflix, taking a shower, sleeping, doing research, eating, visiting family members. Okay? They're not ignoring you. They're busy, baby. Get some business too so you can be busy. If you feel like a man is ignoring you, it's because you don't have a life, darling. And they do. So, time to get alive.
I'm gonna tell you my theory about why women will chase after a man or become a pick me for a man, even if the man clearly shows her that he doesn't like her. I feel like this more has to do with how women have a hard time taking rejection as opposed to actually liking that man. There are exceptions to the rule where, yes, you can like a man and he doesn't like you back, and it's like, okay, I want to chase him because I really like him. But realistically, no matter what you look like, women are far less used to rejection than men are. But when women get rejected, I honestly feel like if you're not used to rejection, we take it personally, especially when it comes from men. And when a man is really showing you that he doesn't like you, if you're not really good with taking rejection, your ego is going to be very hurt and then say, I need to prove that I'm good enough, or I need to prove that, I like, why don't you like me? And then constantly wanting to pursue and become insecure with, all of the things that come with rejection. So my advice is that if you are currently chasing somebody that does not like you, or are currently a pick me for somebody that doesn't like you, check your relationship with rejection. You hear all the time, right? Where it's like rejection is protection, but sometimes like people just don't like you, or you're not a good fit for that person. And that is okay. It doesn't say anything about you, and it doesn't mean that you're not worthy. But again, if you're not used to that rejection and you're not used to that confidence or that self-esteem that comes with being okay with rejection, you are going to have a hard time with it. And so is your ego. It's so crazy because sometimes women will feel rejected by somebody that is just a bum. Everything that they have on their list is like, I want a man that does this, 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 and that. And this other guy, just because they reject her in any way, shape, or form, they will go on and on and on about, I need to have this guy know that, I'm worthy, or I have to have this guy pick me and acknowledge me. I'm just saying, it could be helpful. And again, I don't really think it has anything to do with really liking a guy, like, because once a guy like gives in, is like, I like you, and then it's like, well, now I don't like you, and vice versa with men too. I just don't know as people why we do that. But if you find yourself struggling with this, check your ego and about how you feel about rejection. You will most likely realize that it has everything to do with the way that you take it, and it will help you move on from men that you're being a pick me for, chasing, that don't like you so much